Breaking news on a Saturday. Shams Charania says that the Rockets and DeMarcus Cousins are going to part ways. My initial reaction was good. Boogie should not be on a team that's going nowhere. And at first I was like, dude, maybe they're not going to trade Victor Oladipo. Maybe they're not going to move DeMarcus Cousins. But after they started going on this losing streak, it was like, okay, yeah, the rumors come out. They're going to shop Victor Oladipo. I, for one, was not surprised that DeMarcus Cousins is going to leave because as soon as you heard the Victor Oladipo news, Boogie Cousins was definitely going to follow soon. Obviously, John Wall can't leave because his contract is so huge and no one's going to take that on. They're not going to buy that out. That would be financially dumb. This is really good for Christian Wood, okay? So if they're able to trade Boogie for something in return, whatever, if they're going to play someone younger, if they go get someone younger, that's what Christian Wood wants. For now, Christian Wood is a borderline all-star in a front court on a team that's kind of going nowhere. Like, what is their identity? We know they're rebuilding the Houston Rockets, right? But how can you be rebuilding with these veterans like Oladipo, Boogie Cousins, John Wall that should be on win-now teams? Christian Wood deserves to be on a team that is truly rebuilding so he can be one of the leaders of that team, right? He shouldn't be on some team that's like fighting for the 8th seed with guys who are just there renting. You know, like Boogie Cousins, Victor Oladipo, they're getting apartments in Houston. They're not buying a house because they know they're out. So let's get some real teammates, a core for Christian Wood that he can build with going forward. He needs guys who he's going to be in there with the long haul, guys he's going to build chemistry with and he can learn from and lead. So I think that's really good for Christian Wood. Now, as for Boogie Cousins, this is one more big man that goes on the market, along with Andre Drummond. Blake Griffin is a big man. He's not a center. He's a power forward. Kevin Love may be on the market. We don't know. But for sure, Drummond, and for sure now Boogie Cousins. We know these guys. So teams are going to be going after them. But the teams that I think should be going after these two guys are different teams. Like if I'm the Nets, I do want Andre Drummond. The Nets should not want DeMarcus Cousins because of the defense factor. Andre Drummond can at least protect the rim. Boogie Cousins cannot. His injuries have caught up with him. DeMarcus Cousins actually has been kind of rough coming back from these injuries, which is to be expected. And so the teams that I think that should definitely go after DeMarcus Cousins are the Miami Heat, because they just don't have depth, right? Like, I don't even care what skills he brings to the table. The Miami Heat need depth, especially in the front court. The Golden State Warriors, right now, they had James Wiseman. Warriors fans, you know this, but for people who don't watch Warriors games every day, the storyline of the season is that James Wiseman, the center of the future, started, but then they had the worst starting lineup net rating in the league. So they benched James Wiseman. It's okay, he's a rookie. They put in Kevon Looney, right? But they need some more talent there. So I think that the Miami Heat and the Golden State Warriors are two teams that need depth. And the third team is another team out east, and that's the Boston Celtics. I think the Boston Celtics should go hard after DeMarcus Cousins. Tristan Thompson has been a non-factor, guys. He's just a name. Tristan Thompson is not someone who's a difference maker. We've seen that. He contributes here and there. I think maybe he's a hair better than Daniel Tice. Maybe not, actually, because Tice was good in the playoffs. But I think the Celtics are that third team that I think should go hard for DeMarcus Cousins. But the team that I think will get Boogie is the Los Angeles Lakers. Do they need him? No. But if it's a buyout situation in Houston, it's not a trade, it's a buyout, then Boogie gets to choose where he goes. And if Boogie's choosing, I got to think it's going to be LA, right? He left them on good terms. They like him. Some people think DeMarcus Cousins might be a bit of a locker room question mark. The team that could easily take that hit would be the Lakers because they have the most sure locker room presence in LeBron James. So the Lakers have nothing to lose. And I think that DeMarcus Cousins would choose the Lakers because he's comfortable there. It's LA. Most NBA players live in LA in the offseason. And of course he wants to get a ring, right? Dude wants a ring. Now, I haven't mentioned the Raptors. let's be real, guys. He's not going to go up north in like sub-zero temperatures to compete for a non-contender. The only reason he would go to a place like Toronto is because it would give him an opportunity to show really what he can do on the court and earn that next big contract. That is why Boogie would choose to go to Toronto. Other than that, he ain't going to Toronto for the reasons I just said, the weather and the fact that they're not a contender. I think the flip side of that is LA. They are a contender and the weather is perfect. And he likes the guys. He knows the guys. He knows the coaching staff. They know him. So I think that LA will get him if it's a buyout. If it's a trade, any one of those other teams could definitely get him. Now, a lot of people pointed out the fact that the Houston Rockets guaranteed Boogie's contract yesterday, I believe it was. And for a lot of Rockets fans, they thought, oh, okay, cool. You know, that signals Boogie is here for the long haul. He's going to be here the rest of the year. Then the next day, the report comes out saying that they're going to part ways. The reason they guaranteed the contract is to do right by him, to say, thank you. You came here. You showed what you could do on the court. When Christian Wood went down, you helped us out. When the drama was going on with James Harden, you spoke up. To me, that was one of the most memorable things of the Houston Rockets season. And that whole Harden drama was how Boogie Cousins stepped up and said, no, screw that guy. We've got our team here and we're rolling with who we got. We don't need him and we don't need that negativity. I remember that more than anything from earlier in the season. So I think guaranteeing the contract for Boogie was kind of a thank you to DeMarcus Cousins for what he's done for them this year. It wasn't a ton of money anyway. Also, I think if you're a Rockets fan, you like that they did that and they didn't just move on from him, because it kind of garners like good relationships and a good reputation around the league for vets who might be considering the Rockets. And if they say, you know what, they did right by DeMarcus Cousins. That's a good organization that protects players. I'm going to go there. So that's why teams do stuff like that. But if I'm guessing here, I think that Boogie is going to end up going to the LA Lakers. But I would like to see the Boston Celtics to get involved, the Dallas Mavericks, the Portland Trail Blazers, who need depth in the front court as well, and the Miami Heat. So these are all kind of contenders who could definitely use Boogie. So we'll see. That's the big news I think we should be watching out for. Is this going to be a buyout situation, in which case Boogie chooses the Lakers, or will it be a trade situation, in which case maybe he goes to one of these other contenders? We'll see. All right, guys, so those are my thoughts. That's my reaction. That was a 9-minute reaction on the Boogie stuff. Let's go to questions for like 3 minutes and just see what you guys are thinking. All right, Phoenix, I think you've been spamming us. Guys, we should do a moderator next time. Someone should be a moderator. I don't know who wants to step up. Cousins the next Kevin Garnett. Don't know about that. Shave your head again, G. No, thank you. Blazers. I'm with you, dog. Sixers. Dwight isn't doing it, and we need a stretch 5, and he loves Joel. That's a really good point, Connor. Raptors. Don't think it's going to happen. He's going to Miami. Why did he want to leave? He wanted to leave because they're going nowhere. And they have Christian Wood, and the team wants to go younger. It's not just he wants to leave. Like, the team wants to go younger. And so it's kind of a mutual thing. Boogie to the Nets. I don't think Boogie to the Nets is realistic because I think that they need defense. So there you go. Heat are not in contention. Why not? Hornets. They got Bismack and they got Cody Zeller. Beal will trade. I don't think it's looking like it. All right, guys. Hey, this was a lot of fun. We had about 700 people. I'm really, really grateful for all of you. You guys are awesome. This week, we've got some big things coming up on the channel. I guess I'll announce this. The Jazz sideline reporter is going to be on AM Hoops, and we're going to talk about this unbelievable season they're having and how I was dead wrong when I said that they would collapse during this final stretch of the first half of the season. I was wrong, and she'll tell me why I was wrong. So you guys are awesome. Love it. Later.